Hey, I got these truthburgers, man. Want some?
No,
You can't handle the truth.
I just want to be in my safe space.
You messed with the wrong sisters.
Oh, God, not this again.
We've been told in big ways and in small ways for our whole lives that the achievements of men are much more important than the achievements of women. Well, forget that. Forget that!
Just put your thumb on that red trigger button there and go to town.
Okay, and here we go!
She's doing a marvelous impression of a deflating balloon.
No more! No, please! Welcome back, everybody. Sorry it took so long to get part 2 released, but our mom broke up with her boyfriend, so there was no one to pay the internet bill.
Hey, is your guys' internet working? No, nobody's is. What's happening?
But that was then, and this is now. And mom has a new boyfriend, so our internet bill is paid. And access to the internet Aiden and I have once again.
Get a job!
We do have jobs, Mom. We're respected YouTube movie critics.
I'm sorry, how much money do you make?
Sorry, you have less than 200 subscribers?
Well, that doesn't matter. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. In part 1, Aiden and I brought up a few points on how and why most female characters today just suck. Whether it's stripping women of their femininity and portraying them exactly like men, except less interesting, or replacing old movies and shows led mainly by males with an entire female-led cast, or portraying women as completely flawless and perfect. One thing is for sure, modern Hollywood fucking sucks at writing interesting and complex female characters.
Wait, hold on, Ollie.
I'm out.
What the hell, Aiden?
Come on, bro. Kick the fucking baby. Let's see you try it, Wuss.
Anyways, Ollie, you were wrong about female characters not having any flaws.
Me? Wrong?
And I, for one, am just appalled by it.
Come on, you know who you are. You're Athena, goddess of war.
One common theme amongst modern female characters is they forget just how perfect they are.
Being absolutely perfect does have its problems.
That's right, folks. The modern female character is so perfect that they need constant reminders on just how perfect they are. Thankfully, these pathetic male characters are there to remind them just how great they are.
Now's the part where you guys are supposed to tell me how awesome I am.
No matter what I do, it will never be enough.
You are already enough, Serena. You are extraordinary.
Good. Well, I need more.
You're Kamala Khan. You want to save the world, then you're going to save them all. More.
But you're also passionate and fearless, forthright.
Now tell me I'm beautiful, sweetheart.
Jesus, modern movies and shows have become therapy sessions for entitled women. On top of being perfect, another trope assigned to the modern female characters is that they're the key to everything. Do you know what The Witcher, Willow, Multiverse of Madness all have in common, kids?
Huh? What's that?
They all contain a girl that's the key to saving the fucking universe.
Oh.
Well, what about this universe's version of you? Maybe she could control her powers.
This universe doesn't have a me. None of them do.
But how do you know that?
Because I've looked.
She wanted to go home. You were the key to her future. What I can't figure out, though, when did Nilfgaard realize that you were the key to theirs?
I'm nobody.
You are Elora Danon, last blood of Chimeria, future empress, high priestess, sent from sorceress of the 9 realms, and the world's last, best hope against the evil coming to destroy us all.
Only you know how important she really is, Obi-Wan. If Leia...
Wait, wasn't the baby from the movie Willow a ginger?
Oh shit, you're right.
Why is she a blonde now?
We Gingers are proud people.
I made mistakes, and people were hurt.
Let us go.
This bitch is crazy. But you put things right in the end, and that was never in doubt.
He's crazy, too.
I went to every movie that Steven Spielberg's ever made, and by the way, he's never made a movie with a female lead. Sorry, Steven. I don't mean to call your ass out, but it's true.
I'm out.
Children, it's time for your history lesson.
You will always remember Seeley. You will never forget the color purple.
Time in.
Color purple. The color purple. Thank you. Okay, I'm wrong.
Get off the stage!
The modern female character reeks of narcissism and toxic feminism. That's right, bitch. Toxic feminism. Whether it's Rey naively declaring herself a Skywalker.
You don't just have power. You have his power. You're his granddaughter. You are a Palpatine.
There's been no one for so long. Who are you?
I'm Rey.
Rey who?
Rey Skywalker.
I need to see some ID.
Or Jennifer wanting to hold everybody else accountable for their actions except herself.
And Abomination?
After all that, I just want him to hold himself accountable.
Don't do it, Jen.
I'm here to see Kevin. It's urgent.
Okay, great. Let me just have you sign our non-disclosure agreement and then have a seat.
You're left, I'm right, because women are always right.
Hollywood has no shortage of female characters who are self-centered and narcissistic. What matters is what they want, and they must have it no matter who gets hurt.
Let us go. You've taken an entire town hostage.
Well, I'm not the one with the guns, director.
You crazy bitch!
And there's this desperation by writers to force us to like them too.
Here?
I'm Loki. You may have heard.
That was for New York.
I like her.
I like this one.
I like it.
I like turtles.
The dumbass logic here is because established characters like them, we should like them too.
All you have to do is like me.
Another massive problem with these characters is their natural ability to be offended. The strategy here is to pass some message down our throats on how women have it bad and how terrible men are. This doesn't make women look like underdogs either. It just comes off as toxic. Female characters today are constantly taking jabs at men. This makes them look bitchy and bitter as opposed to sincere. On top of giving everyone an attitude, they act snarky while constantly lecturing people on how oppressed women are. The modern female character is overly defensive about everything and seems to resent men for just existing.
Here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me.
This isn't really how you get someone to like your character, Karen. They aren't even trying to be subtle with their themes. Just look at this other She-Hulk scene.
We have to make sure of your ability to regulate your emotions, especially your anger.
I do it pretty much every day because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult or I might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
Continuing with the toxic feminism espoused by these Hollywood shitheads, characters like Captain Marvel.
I hated this movie. Hated this movie. Hated it.
Also exist to push a feminist narrative. Carol Danvers' story is of a girl who's been looked down upon by the straight, evil, white male. Jan Rog is depicted as a toxic man who manipulates her. The message is quite obvious and overt. Men have underestimated women. Jude Law's character is a jerk, a bully. He's a toxic presence who tells Carol to be less emotional.
There's nothing more dangerous to a warrior than emotion.
You struggle with your emotions.
Oh, she was showing emotions? We couldn't tell. Brie Larson's depiction of Captain Marvel showed less emotion than Brock Lesnar. I swear they could have had Brock Lesnar play Captain Marvel and he would have shown more emotions than brain dead Brie Larson. And of course, the film concludes with the toxic white male, I mean Jude Law, betraying Carol. Turns out another white man was the villain all along.
Surprise, surprise.
But it wasn't always this way. You see, corporate feminism wants you to believe that strong female characters are a new thing, like the last 40 plus years of entertainment never happened. Maybe you can sell this women finally portrayed as heroes shit to Gen Zers, but not to unemployed nobodies like me and my brother, who spend days watching movies in our Doritos-stained pajamas.
That's right, damn it.
I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie.
What the fuck?
I'm out.
Ready for another lesson?
Now I only got so much control, and I'm liable to put one of these right between your eyes, no matter what Mama'd say.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Die screaming, motherfucker.
Time in.
I think everybody thinks that...
It doesn't matter what you think!
I'll play you.
What?
One game, one-on-one.
For what?
Your heart.
Once again, as with our videos on horror movies and masculinity, the past did it better. Modern Hollywood prides itself on pretending to be morally righteous and inclusive, but all they're doing is reminding us how much better old movies and TV shows were. Hollywood would have you believe that complex and intriguing female characters, or fuck it, just female characters in general, don't get representation on screen until the year 2015, but that's
bullshit.
Cinema always had great female characters. They weren't just great female characters, they were great characters, period. Sarah Connor in Terminator was just a college student working as a waitress. That's relatable right off the bat. And when she's running around town trying to get away from the Terminator, we really feel for her.
Come on, do I look like the mother of the future? I mean, am I tough, organized? I can't even balance my checkbook.
She's obviously not physically equipped to take on such a villain. But as the movie goes on and she evolves,
Reese, on your feet, soldier! On your feet!
by the time T2 comes around, her character has gone through a complete metamorphosis. Sarah was hardened by her experiences from the first film, so she spent years training for the story that unfolds in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And this time, she has a son, so it adds an extra layer of emotion to the movie. Her biological instinct to nurture and protect her son really shows. And even though she's a badass in this movie and adapts masculine traits, she still shows signs of vulnerability and fear. That's good character development. Today, she'll be written as a perfect woman with no flaws except to be constantly reminded by others how amazing she is. And despite her size, she would physically destroy the Terminator without any weapons.
For fuck's sake, even blaxploitation films did it better, despite whatever stereotypes they may have had. Movies like Coffee and Foxy Brown realistically portrayed how a woman could use her sexuality in order to take down bad guys.
Why don't you turn out the lights? This is the end of your rotten life, you motherfucking dope pusher!
It's by no means an ideal way to get out of a situation, but sexually seducing a man or being resourceful plus quick thinking makes for a more interesting story than a 95-pound chick tossing a 200-pound bad guy across the room.
I got this.
Pam Grier's character knew she couldn't take on a man in hand-to-hand combat, so she had to get creative with her approach. It's also a crime now to see a woman actually wanting a man, or even avenging the death of her lover. In Foxy Brown, Pam Grier's main motive to take down a drug syndicate is because they murdered her boyfriend.
Baby, no.
Go on, shoot! I don't want to live anymore!
That's the idea. The rest of your boyfriend is still around. And I hope you two live a long time. And then maybe you get to feel what I feel. Death is too easy for you, bitch.
I want you to suffer.
And she was able to do it while still being feminine. She didn't have to become a man.
I'm ready, Miss Catherine. How do you like it?
In Love and Basketball, the character of Monica admits she was wrong to neglect her boyfriend Quincy and fights to win him back.
You asked me what was missing.
What?
From basketball.
You woke me up to tell me that?
It's not fun for me anymore because you're missing. What I'm trying to say is, I've loved you since I was 11, and the shit won't go away.
That is offensive!
You're a strong, independent woman.
You don't need a man.
In today's world, it's laughable to have a character like that, unfortunately. If made in 2023, Quincy would be portrayed as an evil, manipulative boyfriend who betrays Monica, or Monica would blame Quincy for her own mistakes, say, "I don't need no man," kick him to the curb, and chase her career, then get celebrated for being a successful middle-aged woman with no kids.
One day, not long from now, my looks will go, and I will become some sad middle-aged woman.
Another great example is Disney's 1998 animated film Mulan, where a young Chinese girl joins the Imperial Army in order to save her father and preserve her family's honor. Right off the bat, that's a sympathetic story, and it makes us curious and interested in Mulan's background and her journey. Throughout the film, we see Mulan struggle in an army filled with men. It's realistic. She's not as strong or as fast as the men, and we see her fail countless times. Eventually, she earns her place in the army and gains the respect of the other men. That's how you write a proper female character, or character period. But when you look at the live-action version from 2020, it's a completely different story. She's born perfect, she possesses special skills, and just needs to be reminded that she's a fucking female and is automatically better than everyone else.
She risked everything by revealing her true identity. She's braver than any man here, and she's the best warrior amongst us.
I believe Hua Mulan.
I believe Hua Mulan. I believe Hua Mulan.
I believe.
I gotta try and take a shit.
How is that supposed to make her story sympathetic or make us like this character?
We don't mind the protagonist with flaws, so we welcome it. That makes them more relatable because nobody is perfect. Females don't have to become males in order to be good protagonists. They can be badasses while still being women. Seeing a well-written female character overcome the odds is rewarding because she doesn't have the same physical advantages that a man would against certain villains. Also, loving a man or needing his help doesn't make you weak. In the Star Wars saga, Princess Leia fell head over heels for a man, Han Solo.
I love you.
I know.
In Terminator, Sarah Connor suffers over the death of Kyle Reese. In Silence of the Lambs, Clarice Starling relies on Hannibal Lecter to make sense of the Buffalo Bill serial murders.
If I help you, Clarice, it will be turns with us too. Quid pro quo. I tell you things, you tell me things.
Go, Doctor.
What is your worst memory of childhood?
All right, my dad dressed me up like a little girl at poker nights and made me sit on all my uncle's laps.
Whoa.
In The Fifth Element, Lilo was sensitive and emotional and had Dallas talk her into allowing humanity to survive despite its faults.
There are some things, very nice things worth saving, some beautiful things.
Like love.
Yes, love. That's good. That's a good example. Like love. Love is worth saving.
In Speed, Annie Porter broke down and sought comfort from Jack.
Doesn't mean you don't care.
I know, but she was so scared.
She was scared. She was a nice lady who didn't deserve to get killed, but Annie, if she'd gotten off, it would have killed us all.
You see a pattern here? None of these characters were perfect. None of them were stuck up. None of them gave off go-girl power vibes and disregarded men. They weren't belittled by embracing the male characters. characters. They still remain strong characters themselves, not just strong females. Their characters weren't ruined because they gave into the men on screen and let their guard down. They didn't look stupid or weak because they sought advice or romance from a man. None of them were offended by the mere presence of a man.
You disgusting bastard.
They were feminine, they were vulnerable, they cried, they loved, they were confused, yet they were the strong female characters that today's Hollywood wishes to emulate but fails miserably to do so.
You're a terminated fucker.
You are getting fat, and you never call me, even though we have a family plan. And it's free. You only visit when you need something. You got a tattoo, and I don't care if it's supposed to represent our family. You know I hate tattoos. No matter what, I still want to be here with you. I will always want to be here with you.
Not every modern day female character is garbage. A movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once is a testament to that. Even Cobra Kai does a solid job of portraying some female characters.
I just want Miguel to be okay. It's all my fault. And then I think about what Miguel and Robbie are going through, and I just feel so guilty.
I wanted to win the All Valley more than anything. After our match when they handed me that trophy, that was the best moment of my life. But then I saw Silver in that ref, and it just killed me. I felt like a fraud.
I didn't know what you were going through.
Will you look at that?
Women. Taking accountability.
For their actions.
No way!
But it's a shame that an overwhelming amount are terribly written, and we're not the only ones who think so. Even some actresses themselves seem to be tired of the strong woman trope. These characters are too perfect. What's intriguing about watching a character who's better than everybody else, and is free from taking any accountability for their actions, and exists only to remind us how horrible men are? Hell, Superman can be boring sometimes due to his perfection, but even he had some kryptonite as a weakness. But where's the weakness of the modern female character? Is it not getting enough validation?
Am I pretty?
Stunning. She is absolutely beautiful and an inspiration.
Yep, that's right.
Just do what men do. Take the job regardless of being qualified. Stay around long enough until you harass somebody, and then they move you up in the company.
This seems like a women's issue, and I'm going to respectfully just stay out of it.
You get to just say this is a women's issue, so you don't ever actually have to do anything, right? This dress code thing may seem like whatever to you. It may seem like whatever to all of you. But I'd say it's another way to control women. And if you're doing nothing, then you're part of the problem.
And please stop with the constant lecturing on how terrible men are.
For the love of God!
Shut the fuck up.
This leads to a disconnect between your product and the audience. Who the fuck wants to see a flawless narcissist assaulting our eyes and ears with a barrage of feminist complaints?
The triggers are anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
Is this how you Karens get us to like your characters? By pathetically complaining how hard it is to be a woman due to the evil patriarchy? This toxic feminist approach of taking jabs at men every chance you get in order to make your character seem like an underdog comes off as insincere. It has become tiring, and box office numbers plus viewership ratings have been showing it too. And stop gender swapping characters to please a small demographic of woke morons. People didn't ask for this, but a bunch of wild feminists in Hollywood did. Corporate feminism is the culprit.
The culprits must be apprehended.
Amen to that, my brother. In the self-observed world of Hollywood, they have forgotten what a good character even means, and they are obsessed with promoting an agenda. A well-written female character doesn't have to mean being physically unstoppable, stoic, and a misandrist, and it can mean rising above challenges despite your own biological limitations. You can be a girly girl and still kick ass. I swear, corporate feminism is the actual New World Order and not the reptilians.
I just don't see it. I mean, what does this have to do with my life?
We're looking at you, David Icke.
I'm saying it's broadcasting something, that it acts as a blocking frequency that stops us seeing and perceiving things that we would normally perceive. That is creating what I call the moon matrix or the Saturn moon matrix, and it's basically having the effect of the fake reality in the Matrix movies.
You keep
We say this because they still try to instill in us that a strong woman is defined as being stronger than men, single, undefeatable, never being held accountable for any wrongdoings, and constantly a smartass. We don't like such people in real life, so why would we like them in TV and film? What modern feminist themes in film can be defined is as nothing more than a voice box for corporate America to brainwash women into thinking that acting feminine is bad, so you must become a man instead. But what corporate America and Hollywood suck in is depicting real people, probably because they all live in their liberal safe spaces, in their own little worlds.
Alright, that's good. Everyone get inside. Everything past here is safe space!
Real women are not what we see on Disney Plus anymore, and because they're portrayed this way, we naturally want to disregard these characters. Not only are they not relatable, but they don't remind us of anyone worth remembering. Most women are quite comfortable with their sex and the opposite sex. They don't shame men just for existing or acting as victims around the clock. Modern Hollywood needs to take a hard look at past movies and realize that a good character is great, regardless of their gender, and not because of it. Hollywood, corporate America, and feminists would have you believe that this is all done in the name of equality. But honestly, it looks and sounds more like superiority.
How could you say that? We will never forgive you.
I am the eater of worlds.
If you're doing nothing, then you're part of the problem.
These girls need to be inspired.
Well, it's inspiration. You need
Not you. You are the last person they need to hear from. These girls need to talk to someone who understands what it's like to be a girl who loves games.
She did the right thing.
Yes, she did.
What's with all the daddy issues? We got Tony Stark, daddy issues.
Jen.
Thor, daddy issues. Loki, same daddy, same issues.
Oh boy.
Star-Lord, 2 daddies, 2 issues.